Have you ever felt like you're living the same day over and over again? Like you're trapped in patterns that don't serve you, watching others succeed while you remain stuck? What if I told you that the key to breaking free isn't found in the latest self-help trend, but in ancient wisdom that's been tested for over 2,000 years? Today, we're diving deep into how Stoic philosophy can revolutionize your approach to personal growth. This isn't about enduring hardship in silence. It's about discovering the unshakable strength that comes from understanding what you can control and letting go of what you can't. Are you ready to transform your relationship with challenges and unlock your true potential? The foundation: understanding what you can control. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple yet profound truth forms the cornerstone of personal transformation. Think about yesterday. How much mental energy did you spend worrying about things completely outside your influence? Your boss's mood, traffic delays, other people's opinions of you? Stoicism teaches us that our power lies not in controlling external circumstances, but in mastering our responses to them. Consider Sarah, who spent months agonizing over a promotion she didn't receive. Instead of channeling that energy into improving her skills or exploring new opportunities, she remained trapped in resentment. What if she had asked herself, "What can I actually control here?" Her preparation, her attitude, her next steps, these were hers to command. This shift in focus isn't just philosophical, it's practical. When you stop wasting energy on the uncontrollable, you free up tremendous resources for what actually matters: your choices, your effort, your growth. Laura's transformation, from self-doubt to inner strength. Let me share Laura's story, a powerful example of Stoic principles in action. Laura battled crippling self-doubt, constantly measuring herself against others' highlight reels on social media. Sound familiar? Her transformation began when she discovered this truth from Epictetus. Wealth consists in not having great possessions, but in having few wants. Laura realized she was measuring her worth by external possessions, likes, followers, others' apparent success, rather than internal values. She started a daily practice of morning reflection, asking herself, "What kind of person do I want to be today?" Instead of scrolling through social media first thing in the morning, she spent 10 minutes journaling about her values and intentions. This simple shift helped her reclaim her narrative. Within months, Laura noticed something remarkable. The opinions of others still mattered, but they no longer controlled her. She had developed what the Stoics call the discipline of desire, wanting what she had rather than constantly craving what she lacked. What areas of your life are you letting external validation dictate your self-worth? The power of intentional daily choices. Every morning, you wake up with a clean slate. Seneca reminds us, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Your daily choices are like individual threads, seemingly insignificant alone, but together they weave the tapestry of your life. Imagine your choices as votes. Each decision is a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you choose to exercise instead of scrolling your phone, you're voting for health. When you choose to read instead of binge-watching shows, you're voting for growth. When you choose patience over anger, you're voting for wisdom. The beautiful thing about this perspective is that it removes the pressure of perfection. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to cast slightly more votes for your better self each day. Consider this. If you made just 1% better choices each day, where would you be in a year? The compound effect of small, intentional decisions is staggering. What vote will you cast with your next choice? Mindset, the ultimate game changer. Your mindset isn't just positive thinking, It's your fundamental approach to life's challenges. The Stoics understood that we suffer more in imagination than reality. Most of our anxiety comes not from present circumstances, but from our projections about the future or ruminations about the past. Take Thomas Edison's famous perspective. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. This isn't mere optimism. It's a practical reframing that transforms obstacles into information. Nelson Mandela exemplified this during his 27 years of imprisonment. He could have chosen bitterness, revenge, or despair. Instead, he chose to see his suffering as preparation for leadership. As he later said, there is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. But here's what most people miss. Changing your mindset isn't about denying reality or pretending everything is fine. It's about asking better questions. Instead of, why is this happening to me? Try, what can this teach me? Instead of, this is impossible, ask, what's the first small step I could take? What limiting belief are you ready to challenge today? Building unshakable habits. Marcus Aurelius wrote, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work, as a human being. This captures the essence of disciplined action, showing up regardless of how you feel. Motivation is like the weather. It changes constantly. Discipline is like the sun. It rises every day, regardless of the clouds. The difference between people who achieve their goals and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's the ability to act when they don't feel like it. Start ridiculously small. Want to read more? Commit to 1 page per day. Want to exercise? Start with 5 push-ups. Want to meditate? Begin with 2 minutes. The goal isn't the activity itself. It's proving to yourself that you can keep promises to yourself. Remember, you're not trying to build the perfect habit. You're building the identity of someone who follows through. Each small victory reinforces this identity, making the next choice easier. The investment principle, sharpening your axe. There's an old story about a lumberjack who spent hours struggling to cut down a tree with a dull axe. When asked why he didn't stop to sharpen it, he replied, I don't have time. I'm too busy cutting. How often do we make this same mistake with ourselves? We're so busy grinding that we forget to invest in our most important tool, ourselves. Self-investment isn't selfish, it's strategic. When you take care of your physical health, you have more energy for everything else. When you invest in learning, you multiply your opportunities. When you prioritize your mental health, you make better decisions. The Stoics believed in preparing for challenges while they were calm. Seneca practiced poverty exercises, sleeping on the floor, eating simple foods, not out of masochism, but to build resilience and appreciate what he had. What if you spent just 30 minutes each day investing in your future self? Reading, exercising, learning a skill, or simply reflecting on your growth. In a year, that's 180 hours of deliberate development. What could you become with that investment? Embracing discomfort, your growth zone. Seneca wisely noted, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Growth requires leaving the familiar behind. Think of a baby bird learning to fly. The nest is safe, warm, and comfortable, but staying there means never discovering what lies beyond. The moment of leaving the nest is terrifying, but it's also the moment flight becomes possible. Your comfort zone isn't actually comfortable, it's familiar. There's a big difference. Familiar can be mediocre, unfulfilling, or even painful, but it's predictable, and our brains love predictability. Here's what I've learned. Discomfort is data. It tells you you're growing. When you feel that flutter of nervousness before a presentation, that's not a sign to retreat. It's confirmation that you're pushing boundaries. I remember my first networking event. I was terrified, sweating through my shirt, wanting to leave every 5 minutes, but I stayed. I had 3 meaningful conversations. 6 months later, one of those connections led to a career opportunity I never could have imagined. What opportunity might be waiting on the other side of your fear? Beyond external validation, finding your true north. In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to mistake being seen for being significant. But the Stoics understood something profound. External validation is fool's gold, shiny and appealing, but ultimately worthless. Epictetus taught how much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does. This isn't about not caring for others. It's about not deriving your worth from their opinions. Consider 2 artists. One creates for applause, the other for expression. The first is anxious, constantly changing their style to please audiences. The second is fulfilled, improving their craft for the joy of creation. Which one do you think produces more meaningful work? The question isn't whether others approve of your choices. It's whether you can look in the mirror and respect the person looking back. Are you living according to your values or according to others' expectations? Breaking free from the comparison trap. Social media has weaponized comparison. We're constantly measuring our behind the scenes against others' highlight reels. But here's what the Stoics knew. Comparison steals joy and sabotages growth. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself how much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does. Your journey is unique. Your timeline is your own. Your definition of success doesn't have to match anyone else's. When you catch yourself comparing, try this Stoic exercise. Wish well for the person you're envying. Seriously, this isn't fake positivity, it's psychological aikido. You're transforming jealousy into generosity, scarcity thinking into abundance. Remember, someone else's success doesn't diminish your possibilities. The universe isn't a zero-sum game. There's room for everyone to flourish. Presence, the ultimate gift. In our distracted age, presence has become a superpower. When you give someone your full attention, you're giving them something increasingly rare, your undivided presence. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." How often do we sacrifice present moments for imaginary future ones? Put down your phone during dinner. Look into your loved one's eyes during conversations. Listen to understand, not to respond. These simple acts create deeper connections than any grand gesture. The irony is that by being fully present, you actually create a better future. Present moments compound into meaningful memories, strong relationships, and genuine fulfillment. The mind-body connection. Your body and mind aren't separate entities, they're partners in the dance of life. The Stoics understood this connection deeply. Seneca took daily walks, not just for physical health, but for mental clarity. I know someone who transformed their entire life through movement. They started walking for just 10 minutes daily. The physical activity sparked mental energy, which led to better decision-making, which improved their relationships and career. One small change created a positive cascade. You don't need to become a fitness fanatic. You need to honor the connection between physical vitality and mental clarity. A healthy body supports a healthy mind, and vice versa. What one small change could you make today to honor this connection? From overthinking to action analysis, paralysis is the enemy of progress. The Stoics valued contemplation, but they also emphasized action. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present. Overthinking is often fear in disguise. We research endlessly, seek more information, wait for perfect conditions. But perfect conditions don't exist. Good enough conditions combined with decisive action beat perfect conditions with delayed action every time. Set a deadline for decisions. Give yourself permission to be imperfect. Remember, you can course correct along the way, but you can't steer a ship that isn't moving. What decision have you been postponing? What small action could you take today? Discipline, your pathway to freedom. Here's a paradox the Stoics understood. Discipline creates freedom. When you have the discipline to do what you say you'll do, you become free from the chaos of inconsistency. Discipline isn't punishment, it's self-respect in action. Every time you keep a commitment to yourself, you build trust with yourself. This self-trust becomes the foundation for bigger goals and greater achievements. Start with micro-commitments. Promise yourself you'll make your bed each morning, then keep that promise. The size of the commitment matters less than the consistency of keeping it. Conclusion. Your journey begins now. We've explored timeless Stoic principles that have guided humans through challenges for over 2 millennia. From Marcus Aurelius in his tent on Germanic battlefields, to modern individuals like Laura transforming their lives, these principles work because they're based on fundamental truths about human nature. But here's the thing. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. The gap between knowing and doing is where dreams go to die. So I'm going to challenge you. Pick one principle from today's discussion and commit to practicing it for the next 7 days. Maybe it's the morning reflection practice that transformed Laura's life. Perhaps it's the 5-minute daily walk that could spark your own cascade of positive change. Or it could be simply putting your phone away during your next conversation to practice presence. The beauty of Stoicism isn't that it promises easy answers, it's that it provides practical tools for navigating life's inevitable challenges with grace, wisdom, and strength. You're not alone in this journey. Every person who's ever chosen growth over comfort, wisdom over ignorance, action over paralysis has walked this path. You're joining a community that spans centuries, philosophers, leaders, artists, and everyday people who decided to take control of their inner world. Here's what I want you to do right now. Hit that subscribe button, not just for more content, but as a commitment to your growth. Every notification will be a gentle reminder that you're investing in becoming the person you're capable of being. Like this video if it sparked something in you, because your engagement helps us reach others who need to hear this message. Share it with someone who's stuck in their own patterns, waiting for the right moment to change. Most importantly, join our community in the comments. Tell us which Stoic principle resonated most with you and what one action you're committing to this week. When you put your commitment in writing, you're 42% more likely to follow through. But more than that, you're joining a tribe of people choosing growth over stagnation. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. The Stoics believed that we become what we repeatedly do. So the question isn't whether you can change, it's whether you will. The path to your best self starts with a single step. Are you ready to take it? Transform your struggles into strength, your setbacks into comebacks, your ordinary life into something extraordinary. The choice is yours. The time is now. Your journey begins today.